Hey, what's up, mechanics? Welcome back to the channel. Nick from the future here. So if you guys haven't already seen the update video, I'm in a shoulder sling because I had shoulder surgery not that long ago. Actually, as the time of this video, about 2.5 weeks. So I'm still kind of doing the recovery bit, but nonetheless, the video you guys are about to watch is just me tearing down the front half of the Evo and removing the engine. I actually split that up over multiple videos, so I hope you guys go ahead and stay tuned for that. Speaking of multiple videos, this whole series is going to be about rebuilding the Evo, the front subframe, possibly the rear, definitely rebuilding the rear differential, rebuilding the motor, and doing some upgrades along the way. So I hope you guys really enjoy the content because I'm really excited to bring it to you guys. So nonetheless, stay tuned and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Okay, so as you can see, rolling up to the car, I've already got the engine crane set up onto the engine lifting points, and here it is. I'm actually lifting it back into place just to ensure that I'm clear of everything. I think what I initially did was set the engine mounts free of everything, and you can see I'm just moving some hoses, moving some wires, moving everything out of the way. It's very important that you keep track of where you're moving the harness, and obviously the plastic clips, you don't want them to rest directly on the paint in case you brush up against it and you'll end up scratching your paint. So obviously you don't want to do that. So you see I'm reaching on the driver's side of the engine here. I initially thought it was free, but it wasn't. So you know, it is what it is. I just had to move a few bolts up the way. I really wish I had a view pointing down. I just didn't have a tripod or a setup that would give me the proper angle down into it, but you're really not missing a whole lot. It's just me clearing out bolts and clips and all the little other things in the way. So see, it's more or less the same. You know, got my music going, got my toolbox luckily right next to me, so you know, kind of in a groove of things, and just being very, very careful of what's around me. You're going to see me do a lot of up and down of the engine, just making sure everything is clear. The reason why I decided to go this route, though, of removing the engine instead of going above or just removing the whole front section of the car, it just was easier that way. I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of people do it where they leave the subframe in, where they just drop the transmission, where they pull the engine above through the hood. I found it easier just to remove the front subframe because I already had to pull the axles anyway. The intent was to leave the subframe in place and have the transfer case still in place, but I ended up pulling the transfer case, transmission, and engine as one complete unit. I found it easier just to do a little bit more work, so to speak, up front and having less work on the back end, and it'd be easier on my body to remove it that way. So, but that also being said, I think all in all, I had maybe 6 hours worth of labor, taking my time of pulling the engine in its entirety. I know it may not look like that from the videos, but that's also including me setting up the tripod, setting up the cameras, all the other jazz, and setting everything up so that I can get the shots. But honestly, it didn't really take that long. It was pretty simple, so glad I did it. Okay, so real quick, I'm using the engine stand to actually lift up the front end of the car. Don't worry, the car is really not that heavy and all the way towards the rear anyway, and it's supported. So, and now I'm using a come along to slide the engine out. Yes, it's on its oil pan. Yes, it's on the transmission. No, it's not going to hurt it. It's fine. So I'm using come along hooked up to an anchor point to slide it out from underneath the car. You know, work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? You know, save your body. It's really not worth getting beat up, so to speak, to get an engine out. You're not going to win any awards for you know, hurt body awards. So you know, safety first. It's your body. You have to live in it. And if somebody wants to give you some crap for, you know, taking the easy ways, you know, quote unquote easy way, hey, it's not them who has to live in your body because you sustained an injury because you didn't think it was cool. So, like I said, I'm using the come along gear. I'm sliding it out. Altogether, this whole engine package weighs maybe like 700-800 pounds with the engine, transmission, and transfer case all hooked together like this. And the garage floor is smooth, and you're really not putting a whole lot of weight on it anyway. So there was no real worry for me doing it this way. I actually welded up a engine cradle that'll hold an engine and transmission and transfer case all together on a wheeled cradle. So, you know, eventually when I have a spare of all of these items, if I ever need to swap it out, I can actually do the whole swap, and I'm anticipating about 4 hours, give or take. So, but yeah, you know, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wasn't really a lot of how-to in this video. Just kind of wanted to document how things went, and maybe you guys get some ideas for how you guys do it. So.
Gotta find a way to you, even though you're next to me. No matter what I do, your heart is drifting out of reach. Head on the water, I'm swimming harder, trying to keep this alive. Gotta find a way to you. Let's go.
Kind of wondering what I'm doing here. I'm just prepping everything to get moved onto that engine cradle that I mentioned earlier. I kind of misjudged how far I had to actually slide it out from underneath the car, only because I'm working in the confines of a small 2-car garage. Don't worry, the irony is not lost on me of saying 2-car garage and small all in the same sentence, but dimensionally speaking, I didn't have as much room as I thought I would. So what I'm doing here is just resetting the engine crane, resetting the come along, getting everything kind of situated so that I can lift it up, get it off the oil pan, get it off the transmission case. But, you know, honestly, I'm beside myself about how easily and how quickly this thing came apart. You know, obviously the experience of, you know, being a mechanic in the past has definitely helped. That is not lost on me. But with that being said, you know, is this a project I think the casual enthusiast can do? Yeah, I think if you're brave enough, you know, you get the manuals, you have some tools, you have general mechanical knowledge. Yeah, I think you can absolutely do it. I think anybody can do anything, to be completely honest with you, but I'm never going to be the one to say no. I'm always going to say go for it. You know, this really isn't my first engine rebuild, nor is it my first engine removal. Having been a mechanic on the professional side in heavy-duty trucks beforehand. So, you know, maybe I have a little bit of an advantage there, but, you know, generally speaking, this really wasn't that hard. Like I said, I do a little bit more legwork up front in order to make everything easier for you. That way, on the back end, like now, where all I had to do was just slide it out from underneath the car, it really wasn't that hard. And, you know, I didn't hurt my back, didn't hurt my body. I had proper tools here to give me a hand. So, you know, it's advantageous for me to do it this way. So, you know, like I said, make it up on the back end by doing more work up front.
want to do.